And I just want to say, yes, sir! That's what I'm talking about. Oh my God. Woo! I'm not going to hold you. This video will have no graphics, so go ahead and put this in the second monitor, treat it like a podcast or something. I'm just going to be talking about and reviewing this album. What? Welcome to Stellar Sound.
Smoking egos, lit like casinos. All we know, me and amigos. We meet up, beat up the egos, we on it. No, we gon' eat those. Turn my streets to Reno. The Reeds on me hitting Cinos like shorty, you ballin' out. Pool parties, your body out. Move money, my body count 200, 100 rounds. Room bloody, I'm cutting now. Cut it out. Blood in my mouth, I'ma puff it down. Up in the clouds, I ain't coming down. Like summer now, I love the town. I'm getting rich year round. I make your bitch go bounce. I've been in shit, no doubt. Hoping this in my house. Up in this shit in my couch. Better not pitch my clout. Better this shit so sour.
That was Smoking Eagles, the first track off of What? Now, I'm not sure which artist is who on this. I'm not sure if Yerba's going first or Dust is going first or even what their actual names may be. But I guess we'll start with the beat, yeah. It's smooth. The shit is smooth as fuck. Especially for me, the kind of music that I like is right up my alley. Like, you know, I'm very big into like shit like Earl Sweatshirt and like Danny Brown and stuff like that. This is giving me those kind of vibes, which is cool, right? Like they're definitely going for like a more low-key thing, and I think that's great. My only problem with it, honestly, is that like the production seemed all over the place at times or whatever. Like the second guy, when he comes in for his first verse, which would be the second overall, you kind of couldn't hear him or whatever with like the ad-lib like cash like counting machine thing in the background, but like it definitely just clears up by the end. It's pleasant to listen to, honestly. Like I would so far definitely like play this in my car, you know. They got a good thing. I do think that the first guy definitely, at least from like my perception as a listener, right? Like I don't rap professionally, amateurly sometime, but like it seems to me he may have like a better skill, or sorry, not skill, but like a better grasp on his like specific style or what have you. You know what I mean? Like I think he's kind of like whatever he's doing, he's got that shit locked in for sure, and you can feel it, right? Like there's not like you can almost feel the confidence and like kind of what he's exuding and whatnot. As for the second guy, he's doing like the kind of like the punch in mumble rap thing. And I know a lot of people don't like that. I think overall for like rap discourse, we're way past like, you know, is mumble rap music? Is it rap or whatever, right? Like, but considering this came out in 2020, this was still kind of that was still kind of taking place. So like, I wouldn't blame anyone for like not liking that part, but like, it's crazy because like toward the end, he starts to actually kind of slide. It's like he picked up momentum. And that's interesting or whatever. Definitely an interesting approach. Like personally, I would have redid that first verse and brought like after I picked up on momentum, right? Because I have some experience like making music to some degree, and I've been in those situations where like you start writing some shit, and then like the beginning part is it's okay, but then by the time you like fucking get in there, you're really punching in. You know what I mean? You picked up this momentum and like. You're coming out. You're really you're coming out of your bag or whatever, or you're reaching into it, right? And you're pulling out all this greatness. If I were him, I think I would have definitely been like, let me go back. I got the momentum right because like when you're doing like a recording session or whatever, or your writing session or whatever, like it doesn't all come at once. Not to everybody. You know what I mean? Some people are like that. Not everyone's like that. And if you're not, I think it definitely benefits to take that momentum that you build up over the course of a session and go back and just fucking punch back in on some other shit. Like I've definitely done that before, like making Pokemon raps and shit. Like the most recent one I made, like the beginning at first didn't start off strong because I thought I was gonna go a different way with it, and then I picked up the steam or whatever after doing it for a couple hours. I was like literally just spitting out the top right, and then it all came back to me, and I just went back and redid the whole thing because I was like, it doesn't flow properly, right? So that's something I would like to see, but that's more about me. Essentially, overall, good song though, like produced by I'm not even gonna try to say that, but the guy that the producer that made this beat is amazing. I can already tell you, like this guy, I think he maybe produces. Let's look down. He's not featured production wise on any other beats or whatever, but like he definitely kind of fits their style. I feel like this was a good pick overall by them.
If it's death, so be it. S&P on me, I'm leaning. Recipe, oxy and weed, I'm resting, I'm off for the evening. Sketchy, we breath in the cement. Less we eat, more that you feed and mess with me, you guaranteed in. It's over. The roast just roasted. I roll up, no hocus pocus. You get the smoke quick, the overdosage. There goes the whole list, the most devoted. There goes the warning. My code I post in morning. The goat, the most important. No hoe can hold my fortune. You need a forklift. Digging it, got my fork in it. Forcing it so of course it bent.
That was Tallahassee. You know, I was thinking about just toward the end of the song there. I think the thing that I find so charming about this is that this is clearly like two friends who just want to rap together. I feel like that's something that's kind of like missing from like what I'll call like more mainstream hip hop. You know what I mean? Just like two people that just want to make a song together, or two people that just enjoy each other's company. Just two friends who are like, fuck it, like let's make some dope music. Let's make a little bit of music, right? I find that so charming, and I mean that in like the best way possible. It's refreshing almost. You know what I mean? Like these people want to be here. Like you know, they're probably not getting a bag off of this, right? But like they want to make art, and they did that, and that's something that, you know, as a person that's, you know, yelling videos into the void or whatever, that's something I could definitely empathize with. Yeah, let's go with that. We can empathize with that. I like it. Now, the song, yet again, on this one, I'm gonna name the first voice Dust. We'll just go like that, right? We try to differentiate or whatever. The flow was very stiff in the beginning or whatever, right? But then as it went on, yet again, it's like, you know, you pick up the momentum and it's like it's very smooth. And then for a second there, I literally probably couldn't tell them apart. And I wonder, is that like intentional, you know? Like, you know, they are, you know, this one entity, right? Like they are a group or what have you. They're still like, you could definitely, I guess, tell the difference or whatever. Cause like, I think each one of these guys has like a hallmark kind of thing to their style or whatever. You're like, okay, cool. Like the guy that I'm going to call Yerba, I guess, until I'm wrong, he seems to slide and flow over it like a little bit more effortlessly. Whereas like Dust, like, he starts off slow, but then he picks up and he's like fucking running right next to him kind of thing. This is pretty dope. A lot of times, like, I haven't talked about the lyrics much, and that's because, like, they're just more just chill, you know what I mean? They're just kind of like riding over the beat. Like, no one's saying anything too crazy. I like it. I don't think everything has to be like some sort of deep music or some sort of deep like hidden meaning or whatever, you know? I don't think we got a rap genius every song. It's nice sometimes, but like it's not necessary at all. So, you know, just the fact that they're just stringing this shit together and it's coming along nicely, like I think it's nice. Yet again, this is still stuff that I would definitely play in my car. Like this is definitely more like night vibes, you know what I mean? Like night evening vibes or whatever, you know, chilling, you know, driving down a highway kind of thing. But I'm fucking with it.
So true. Teacher told me I wasn't shit. Preacher told me I wasn't shit. Police told me I wasn't shit. Now look at this, Mr. Crooked Smile, it's the wicked wildest. Riot pot the lid, Alka-Seltzer fizz. We gon' need some more rain, you gon' see the sunrise. Leave you feeling no pain, please believe it's alright. We gon' ride us on sight. Strangers talking to me, I don't know them, no.
That was Sightseeing. Now, looking at the comments for the YouTube video that I'm kind of listening through this album on, apparently this was Dust, going by the comment down there. So maybe I've had their names flipped backwards, but that's kind of neither here nor there at this point, I guess. What I do want to say is like the first thing that took me not by surprise, but like took me away and got me really into the vibe of this song was the beat. So this is produced by Stoic Beats. And man, yeah, this thing is groovy. I'm like straight smooth. It's great, and he did amazing with it. Honestly, like I was a little scared at the beginning because it started off kind of slow, but then like it definitely picked up or whatever. I feel bad because this is so far the first time I've really mentioned the lyrics. There's a lyric in here, like a bar or whatever, where he like takes like Chanel and goes like I'm sensational or whatever. I didn't really like that. That was a reach for me. That was definitely a reach. I wouldn't do that. I get it. I always do like flipping words and like kind of playing with it. That's what I think the best part about rapping in English, at least, or at least like American English, right? You can do goofy shit like that, but like sometimes it's too goofy. That's just me though. Overall though, no man, this is straight smooth. I think this is like kind of one of those things where like they're gonna be like doubling up on songs, but they're each gonna have like one of their own kind of thing. I want to say like in Her Loss, I think that's the name of that Drake and what do you call it album? I can't figure out his name now. I can't remember. 21 Savage. Drake and 21 Savage. Their Her Loss or whatever, like they do that on there where like I think, you know, they're doubled up on most of the tracks, but I think Drake has like a couple solo tracks or whatever. I think 21 maybe has a solo one as well. But I like that kind of thing because like sometimes with a duo, right, like you don't get a full feel for like their strengths and or weaknesses when they're together, because that's like the whole purpose of partnering up, right, to cover that, make your strong parts stronger and make your weak parts like less noticeable or whatever, right? So it's nice just to see like a single track with one of the guys on it type of thing, so you kind of get a more of a personal feel for them. The last thing I'll just say, because I haven't really talked about it, but like I really dig the font that this album is in, and I would love to have it or find out if I already do have it. I don't think I do, but it's dope. This is it's probably a custom job or whatever, but I think it's so fucking dope. It's really really cool. Moving on.
Need more dough, that's buck talk. Big hunt, blast off. Peace de resistance. Disturb peace and piss on. You push overs, I'm pissed off. Ships in my lips lock. Smell proof that lid lock. Fist ball. Pencil pushing this utensil. Crooked broken looking mental. Monumental momentum. I'ma kill it in and some. Ritual resurrect done. Death sentence go hands on. Menace Dennis Manson. Kick like out of sign, yeah. Out of line like an OUI to check.
That was Buck Call. Now, I think I got the guys separate now, right? I think this is Yerba, and the guy that moves a little more fluidly on the beat, that's Dust. Now, Yerba has like this thing, right? Like kind of like I talked about. I know I had their names mixed up before, but like he has this thing where he like starts up like very slow. This is like some like Reggie Gigas slow start shit. But then like once he starts to kind of like, once he's up, he's moving on it like, and I wish he would just like, again, go back and then just take that same, because I know exactly what's happening, right? Like this is the session and you pick up the momentum, and then by the time you're into it, right, like you're going on that shit, right? Like you listen to the beat like 100 times, you got it down, because it keeps coming, right? Like he's probably just going off the top and then going with what sticks and what sounds good. The cool shit is it sounds good. It's just that like it takes like the song, it's like about 3 minutes, right? Like he doesn't start moving to like a minute and a half, like almost 2 minutes in, you know what I mean? And like speaking from like the perspective of a listener, right? That's too long. Like what's really saving him is like the beat. The beats are great. Like they're picked great, and like they move, like once he starts moving, he's on it, right? Like it's nothing crazy, but like he's clearly in tune. He's with it, with the flow. The only other thing I'll speak on is that like there's a comment on this video, and it was just like ass, and I was like, that's not fair. I would never say it's ass. Like I've heard bad, like, you know, like underground or amateur rap or whatever, and like this ain't even on that level. And in fact, I'll probably review the perfect example of what like a really really bad attempt at rapping is, where you have like no foundation, you don't grasp any of the concepts, whether it be rhyming, flow, presence, like, you know, control over your voice or anything like that. Like there are songs like that, and there are people like that. That does not describe this guy 100%. Like that's way off the mark. It's just I just want to see him move on it more. Like, what's keeping me locked in as a listener, because like the last time I listened to this was like a year ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, even like not long after this came out, because this came out in 2020, because there's a Corona bar in here. I'm so happy that there weren't a lot of like coronavirus bars after Corona was over or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's like I think the Baby had one, maybe a few other people, but not too many people like did Corona bars. Thank God. But right, that kind of dates this, but that lets you know, like, I listened to it way back then, and I remember, like, if I find the original recording, I'll post that too, of me going through and listening to this, you know, and just giving like my stream of consciousness sort of like this. But what really keeps me here as a listener is like this beat choice is amazing. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost one of those things where like you don't even care about the lyrics, because like the fucking beat, you know, selection and production is so good. Like it's really pushing it through. You know what I mean? Like, I think in a different scenario, like if the beats weren't as great, I think I would definitely like drop out of this 100%. What's keeping me on is that I know the last song was really good. I remember that from a year ago or a couple years ago. The last song is really, really good. It ties together nicely. It felt great, and I'm looking forward to that. Next song.
On my chin chisel, the pen game been scribble. End game big chains and antennas. End game big chains with antennas. I'm a Rick James, go insane, the antennas. Don't stop, I prosper. Coke rocks with lobster. Most watch, don't start the opera. Float farce, go stars with vodka. Dope pop, broke top, I'm off this. Find me at the top, bitch. Nostrip, moving like it's Mach 5th. The hospital, body baggy boxed in. I switch, I'ma hit the I switch.
That was Antenna, and I just want to say, yes, sir! That's what I'm talking about. Oh my God. Woo! Listen. My whole problem with Yerba this whole time, right, has been like, he doesn't start fucking just moving immediately on the beat. Antenna is that song. He, like, from the beginning, he's just moving. He's moving on it like he's supposed to. Now, like, the flow itself, right? Like, the flow and rhyme scheme itself is a little stiff still, but it's still good, and it still sounds good, right? Good beat. Like, I think it's one of those things where if he's not rapping now, today, still, he should keep doing it. Because if he keeps doing it, I know those small things that I have a problem with will be fixed or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, and it's exciting to even see. It's rare that you see an artist get to like grow. It's even rarer that you get to see that happen live on an album that they're recording on or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that it's incredible or whatever. I didn't so much like the pitch down voice there at the end, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't like a detriment, honestly, or whatever. I wasn't feeling it because I was so into what he was already doing. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It is kind of crazy. And I know a lot of people would definitely be like more critical. And I don't think I'm like throwing any soft punches or whatever. Like, I've definitely said exactly what I think. It's just that, like, what I'm usually more into is the potential behind something. You know what I mean? Like, where you could be like, okay, I see the vision. You know what I mean? I'm all about the vision. Like, there's vision here. I see where he wants to go, and I want to see him get there 100%. I want to see it. Like, I'm sorry. I'm just so excited because, like, it, you know, obviously I'm talking to no one, right? I'm out in space here, but it's almost like my prayers were heard for like 1 minute and 30 seconds there. You know what I mean? Like, it all crystallized and came together, and I like to see that. You know what I mean? Like, there's obviously like some production issues overall, but I think if you can like get past that and then understand that this is probably like two dudes who came together and want to like make an album or whatever, and you know what I mean, they put the money into like license beats or whatever. Maybe they didn't have like a real mixer or, you know, like actual like production guy to like mix it all up and stuff, but like that's okay, because it's more important with stuff like this, I think, to like see the vision and try to like connect with it that way, because it's not going to be like, it's not impossible, but like it's less likely to be like something that like someone paid like thousands of dollars to have like mixed and mastered in like a legit studio and shit or whatever. Like this is some real amateur underground, like, you know, boots to the street type shit. And I think it's commendable, honestly. Like it's solid. I'm not mad at it at all. I was just so excited there at the beginning because like he didn't do the slow startup thing, man. He just got right to it, man. That's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know what the writing or recording or brainstorming session for that was like, but I can tell that happened well into one of those. You know what I mean? Like they had already been going at it for a few hours, or he had already been going at it for a few hours, and then boom, he's in there. You feel me? Like I like it. Next song.
Short breath, bag of trees and I'm all set. Masterpiece in the backdrop. I'ma paint it to the last drop with the hacksaw. Slack jaw, back off. Last straw snapped off last fall. Bones on asphalt, road rash.
We gon' be the ones that you find out. See me in the sun looking fly now. Catch me with your bitch, make her mine now. Rolling in the six, this is my time. We gon' be the ones that you see me in the sun looking special. I'm just having fun with you. I'm just kinda feeling I should let go. Lying on my strap, replying on my shot. And lying we on site, you signed with the wrong guy. What's up?
That was I Do Know. Now, this is simultaneously so far my favorite and least favorite song on this whole EP. Because on this one, Dust, this is probably his weakest showing. Like, real talk. Like he basically kind of like his whole verse is like, you know, like lyrical miracle, like spiritual shit. You know what I mean? Like there's a part toward the end of his thing where he's literally doing that, and like it flows and it gets your head nodding. But like when you go back, because like this one I went back like twice or whatever just to see if I like catch some bars, because like on this one like. Not to be rude, but like on this one, like they're actually like rapping, you know, they're kind of getting to it or whatever. Like the other stuff, a lot of the other stuff has just been like, you know, like they're there, you know, they're saying they're there, right? Like they're on it, but like the beat's hot type of shit. This beat a little less hot, and so like there's a lot of room, at least to me, to move on this, like lyrically. Like this is where you can like really like do some shit, and like Dust kind of like he kind of gets there, right? But like then it just like at the end of his verse is really just like, you know, lyrical miracle, like spiritual, like Eminem, you know, like, you know, that's an off the hot coffee pot shit. It's not bad. It's just I like, you know, man, like I feel like him is better than that. Like if Yerba had did something similar on his part, you know, of the verse or whatever, I'd have been like, cool. Got it. Like, right. That like for him, that'd be a level up. For Dust in this case, it's not. And I almost wish he hadn't. But you know, this one definitely also, but it's also like my favorite, right? Because like on this one, because like the beat's not working too hard. You know what I mean? Like it gives them a little breath to like actually like try to like rap for real. And there's a couple things that like I'm like, okay, yeah, like. Wait, hold on. What did he say? Can I like, and the way I look at it, like a rap fan or whatever, right? As a fan of rap music, is that like if you're rapping, you want some shit that someone could like throw up in their Instagram like photo or like a Facebook thing. Like Yerba toward the end of his toward the end, I think his last like couple bars, he's like, yeah, okay. So his thing was
stunting with that thing on me, act right. Rolling up green thumbing. If you want smoke, it don't mean nothing. Say you want smoke, boy, you seen me puffin', boy, you seen me stuntin', say something.
That shit was hot. Like, that is some shit I could totally see someone putting, like, making like a Facebook status type shit, you know what I mean? Or it's like some kid on his Instagram, like, with his, like, vape pen, or, like, maybe actually smoking weed or something, like, you know, and, like, you know, obviously you got the piece with you, you know what I mean? It's like, say you won't smoke, but you see me puffing, yeah, you see me say something. Like, yeah, like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, it's like he's waking up it's like Yerba's like waking up. It's like, and you see the vision. I see the vision, and it's like a flower, man. And you've been watering that shit all spring, and you've been waiting for the bloom, and it's starting to open up a little bit, and you're like, oh, that's gonna be beautiful. That's gonna be legit. That's gonna be like something. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy, like how like this track can like give me like these mixed emotions, right? Like on one hand, like this is probably some of the best rapping that he's done thus far on the album or whatever. You know what I mean? Like legit. Like it's definitely better than like the other stuff he was. He didn't really start. Well, he did start off slow, but it did build up like significantly. Like, you could tell it was intentional. Whereas before, it was him trying to find his way on the beat. Whereas like now, I could see he was building up. In fact, he had a little Mac Miller moment there for a second, to me at least, and I kind of liked that. And then like it built up, and then he was gone, man. Like he was on that shit, and then he winds down or whatever. It felt a little abrupt, if I'm being honest. It felt a little abrupt the way he ended it, but like he ended it on like some hot shit. Like, I'm gonna make a Facebook post now, probably, or like a tweet or something on the Stellar Black Twitter. Check it out, follow, right? And I'm gonna say that shit because that shit sounds cool. Say you want smoke, but you see me puffing, yeah, you see me stunting. Say something like, ooh, like that's what I'm talking about, man. Like that's what you want. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you're an amateur rapper and you're trying to attract listeners, no matter what side of the ball you want to be on, you know, whether you want to like do the trap shit, the like spoken word, like, you know, shit, even lyrical miracle shit has a place. You know what I mean? Especially like where these guys are from, like the Northeast or whatever. Like, yeah, like that's like where like I want to say like Army of the Pharaohs and shit like that, like up there. You know what I mean? Like you got like the birthplace of that stuff is like in that stuff, right? Like that's like what we're known. Like that's not we, but like that's what like North is known for. Like, you know, like some real, like you can get real lyrical with it. Like, right, throw some smart shit in there, crack a dictionary on that shit. Like it's legit. And I know I'm giving Dust like all the shine right now. It's just because like you know, from a listening perspective, like I've been a little frustrated with him this whole time, cause like I'm like, bro, I can see it. I know it's in there. I can see him, like, cause like every time he does that slow start, but like halfway through, right, he's in the bag, right? He's reaching in, he's pulling some shit out, and you see it, and you're like, wait, hold on, bro, open up the bag again, get back in there, or you know, or it's like, bro, you know how you opened up, you know, at the end, go back and do that shit again at the beginning, and then the whole time you're locked in, right? You're in there. Yerba, on the other hand, right, like it was good. It's just, I know, at least from what I've come to expect from him thus far, it wasn't his best. I can say that for a fact. Like, it was cool, and like some of the, I think he had like a little quotable in there for me or whatever. Let me find it. I think the best thing out of this whole thing for him was he was like,
a glutton for punish, you like a substance, you non-narcotic. Nobody want it, I can see the peak. It's a mighty come up. Wait, done up, hey.
And like, fuck, man, I like that. I wish he had kept going like somewhere else with that. I like it. Like I said, I think this is his weakest showing on the whole thing. And what's even crazier is that like all my other segments for this album haven't been this long. You know what I mean? I listened to it and I was like, okay, cool, got it. This one made me go back. You know, I've run it through a couple times and I'm like, fuck, man, like it's good, but it's frustrating because like it's basically like fucking Goku and Vegeta like failing the fusion dance right now. You know what I mean? It's like they're both not the same level. And a couple times earlier, it felt like they were about the same. You know what I mean? Like clearly there was like I think Dust would have been the favorite, right? Like he would have been edging out on top or whatever. But like he wasn't like clearly like past or whatever. And here I feel that we're missing some synchronicity. It's almost there. You know what I mean? Like this would probably so far be the best song if Dust had like did the shit that he normally does and like just like get in there for real. This wasn't his best for sure. 100%. I feel that. And what's crazy is this was like Yerba's best so far, and to like not match the thing that's crazy. Like I know like if you're homeboys, maybe you don't want to overdo it, but I feel like it's your duty to like bring the best shit you can bring no matter what. Like, even if your homie's verse is a little bit weaker than yours, go hard as possible, 100%. Like, and maybe you even have a moment where it's like, damn, bro, maybe I need to go back and write my shit because he came hard. I don't know. I don't know. This one's got me stirred up for real. Like, for real. I think the last thing I'll touch on for real is like the comments on this video, right? Like, some people, like, one guy's like, cool, whatever. It's the negative ones that I guess I have like kind of the problem with. Not that like you can't have negative comments. It's just like, it's not even like good constructive negative feedback or whatever, right? Like, feedback could be both positive and negative, right? Like criticism, right? It's like one guy's like, beats too loud, and I thought I agreed at first, but like on re-listening, it's really not that bad. Like, it's about the same like production or mix wise as like the whole album or whatever. Like, no one's like really washed out or whatever. I think they're definitely talking too low, and I think it could be better, but I don't think I was struggling to hear them. Another one's just like, this sucks, and again, I disagree. I think this can get you stirred up. If you listen to the whole thing, you get to this one, like, you'll be stirred up for sure, 100%. It's just like, damn, bro, like, sucks? Like, that's crazy. And another guy says this slaps on mute. Wrong. I mean, I hate to be the guy to be like, hey, your opinion's wrong. It's just that, like, that's too harsh for this, because, like, I've heard, like, actual bad amateur rap or whatever, and, like, again, I said it a couple tracks ago or whatever. I'm like, this ain't it. This isn't the one, they just be like, throw it out with the dish, throw it out or whatever. Like, this isn't that. Anyways, I've been been rapping for like 10 minutes. Next song.
This electro funk step, leave a throat slit. Hotep, they a piece, at least a whole set. Unleash the beast, I'm upset. A professor progress past poses. They was frozen from the potion. Oh, you dope? Check the dosage. Out of frame, lost my focus. Lot of fame, but the motive all the same. Can't complain, I'm in the moment. When you need it, you got it. When you want it, it's just not there.
That was Go There. Now, it occurred to me like halfway through recording the last segment that even though in my mind at least, I have a distinction between who's who, I think I've been using their names interchangeably, and way too late since we only got one more song left. I'm going to stop doing that. I'm just going to try to be as general as possible. But this song, right? This is definitely... It's my favorite from like a sonic standpoint. Like, sonically, this one was. This is gonna sound horrible, probably. If there was a song that definitely got paid to get mixed or whatever, it was fucking this one, 100%. Like, it sounds good. Like, the rapping's good. It's solid. It's a solid piece overall, right? Again, like, same thing with the lyrics the other times. Not saying anything too crazy, but like, there's a coherent flow to this, and it sounds nice. It's very, very nice. I wish I had more to say about it. I guess, like, I don't want to like damn with faint praise or anything. I think my real problem at this point is that, like, even though this is like the best one sonically, I'm not feeling it, like, in the sense that, like, it's like good, it's like background rap, you know what I mean? It's that you can put it on the background and not disturb you, and maybe that's a good niche to be in sometimes. But like, I definitely, like, when I'm thinking about the stuff that I'm gonna listen to over and over again, like, yeah, I have like chill playlists that has music similar to this, but like, I'm not going back to it constantly, kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I got to be in the mood for some this or some that. So like, in this case, it's like, oh, I got to be in the mood for some Yerba and Dust. You know what I mean? I got to be in the mood for some Yerba and Dust. Like, that's like, maybe like, for me as a listener, that's the worst place to be. Like, I don't want to like necessarily have to be in the mood for you all the time. You know what I mean? Some stuff I just want to be good no matter when. You know what I mean? It comes on and you're like, hell yeah, let's go, let's do it. Yeah, I don't have any real like negatives or positives to say about this. Like, the rapping was, like, again, it was solid. Like, I can listen to a little bit more, just play it through real quick. Nah, just kidding. I got more to say. I had to go back and listen to some of the lyrics or whatever. And we got another fucking reach, so this has got to be Dust, or at least who I'm calling Dust. I know I'm getting this shit mixed up, but whatever, right? Like right here, right at the start of the second verse, I think he says, if I'm not mistaken, he's like, yo, something like Pacquiao. I packed the loud like Philippines, and I'm like, for that one, I'm not even sure what he's reaching for there. Honestly, like, is this going over my head? Hold on.
Y'all killing me like Pacquiao. I packed aloud in stadiums, call it Philippines. Y'all heard VeggieTales, filaments are filled with greens.
Like Pacquiao, I packed the loud like in stadiums like Philippines. Like I get that what he's going for, right? Like the connection is that Manny Pacquiao is Filipino or whatever. But what I'm asking, right, is like, what is that? What are you saying? Clearly, it's a vehicle to just get to the next line or whatever. It's just like, it's one of those things that just doesn't hold up under the scope. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't hold up on closer inspection. It still sounds good, like sonically, right? Like, it's nothing. Like I said, I don't think all lyrics have to be like some shit that you gotta like rap genius, or I don't think it needs to be like, oh damn, bro, that's really going over motherfuckers' heads. Like that, you don't gotta do it like that. But like, also, I don't think you got to do that either. You know what I mean? I don't think you got to Stretch Armstrong, Mr. Fantastic, like reach for a bar kind of thing. Like that one was kind of crazy. I'm not gonna lie. That that was kind of crazy. I disagree with the use of that. Like I said, nothing too bad or whatever to say about this track. It's solid. It's just kind of like a solid thing. I don't feel too strongly about it. It's just, it is what it is. But lastly, right, we got Ticonderoga up next, and I was really excited about that because I remember when I first listened to this, that one, like, it kind of blew us back a little bit. Like, me and my friend, we had like kind of listened and kind of reviewed this together, and Ticonderoga like sent us to a little fucking frenzy. We were like, man, that's how you end it right there. Like that's it. So I'm really excited for it. Next song.
Furnace, hotter than everything, hotter than what I need. Probably profiting, turning peasants into kings. Sack of feathers, watch me sink. I ain't synced up, link up, looking for the pink plush, lush, putting drinks up, flush from the tin cup, dust in the dimmer. A new business, kill the income. Let the red run, yelling red rump, blunt fat for the lead lump. You trapped in headstrong, in fact, your theme song. And that is what a dream on.
That was Ticonderoga. And man, I'm sitting here because I'm thinking about how I felt when I first heard it back then. I don't quite feel the same. The beat's good as usual. Like these guys, they know their shit, right? Like they pick really, really good beats or whatever. Dust was up first in this one. I know because he said his name. And it's so funny because earlier I was saying if he ever did some like lyrical, miracle, spiritual shit, I would commend him for it. And he did. And true to my word, I will. I'm not gonna lie. Like it does work. It's just that like now I feel that he could probably do even better. So I'm not even gonna knock him for it or whatever, right? It sounds great. What's more surprising to me is that it seems like as the album went on, or this EP went on, like Dust like really beefed up. You know what I mean? Like his power level kept rising or whatever, and it kind of culminated here, and it's something like fairly solid or whatever. It's like Yerba got weaker as it went on. Like this is crazy. It's almost like this was recorded in two completely different time periods or something like that, or like I can't explain it, man. Like it's insane. It's crazy. Like Yerba was also like again like really weak on this one. That kind of sucks because like earlier it definitely seemed like he what the fuck he was doing. You know what I mean? Like he had it. This one he's kind of like he's basically falling asleep on the track, man. Like it's not great. The beat itself is a good beat to end on, I think, and like the chill kind of vibe they're going for all over. Like hey, it's here 100%. It's just that like Dust is rapping, right? He did his thing. But yet again, like, right, we're not getting the same energy from both sides on this. And that's a shame because like when I was really looking forward to getting to this, like to Ticonderoga, because I remember we were really hype about it. I'm going to have to go back through some old hard drives or something to like find that old recording or whatever. And I'm going to post it up probably on the Patreon or something just to keep something over there. Plus it's nothing official, right? I want most of my content to just be out here or whatever. And just I'll keep special things like that for that side, but like that neither here nor there, right? Like now I'm confused, man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm really confused because, like, I see the vision. I see part of the vision, and in my mind, when I was listening to it, I was like, what if this whole time has been wrong and it's not two people or whatever? What if it's one guy? It's definitely not. Like, there's definitely two guys here or whatever, right? But then I'm starting to think about the date, right? The time this was made, which was doing like peak COVID, right? Like initial lockdown kind of mode. This was made in lockdown. And so some of the decisions and like complaints or what have you that I have make totally sense when you frame it from that perspective. That this was made during COVID, and niggas, I mean, and motherfuckers probably wasn't like moving around, you know what I mean? Like they weren't like traveling to the studio. This legit was probably just made all in bedrooms or whatever, you know, or closets, you know what I mean, type of thing, like makeshift like sound booths or whatever, you know what I mean? And that it kind of makes sense, you know what I mean? Some of the stuff makes sense, but like, right, that's still no excuse because like we heard times when it was up. And the whole thing should have been up. I'm not gonna lie, this is chill. Yet again, I'll say it. If these guys are still rapping or are still interested in it, they should keep doing it. They should do it again. I could see them making a fairly solid EP that can get like some play in their city or whatever for sure. Definitely some city clout. Maybe beyond that, right? If the production on the voice work and stuff like was like top notch, like. Some of these I could definitely see playing. Like you could definitely get some like college radio joint or whatever. Like I had a friend, you know, when he was in college, he did like the college radio thing, and like he had full control to play whatever he wanted, pretty much, right? Like they were on AM, so the rules are different apparently. And like I could totally see these guys like slipping the song, like the MP3 or whatever, the thumb drive to the college DJ and be like, "Yo, play this at 11:30" type of thing. This is 11:30 vibes. This whole album is 11:30 vibes. I'm kind of done talking about song now, right? I'm just kind of like wrapping up basically. But like this stuff, this is good. I think overall, I think it's fairly solid. Like not weak exactly, definitely not strong. Like right in the middle. Like there's some good highs and some like really low lows kind of thing, and which is kind of like that's not a pun or whatever, because like some of the voice work and stuff, right, was mad low. You definitely have to like really listen, and it's so funny because I didn't see some of those comments on like a song like this where like Yerba really was like being drowned out by the beat pretty much, right? I don't know. I love to see more. I might definitely like they have another EP up here. I think that probably got released or put up before what. And I think I'll have to check it out at a later date, because if this is where they are now, or you know this is the most recent project, what was it like before? Was it different? Because that one probably took place before COVID. In fact, I could probably look, right? We can see about when that one was released, the Loose Leaf LP, to 2019. So like yeah, before COVID, right? Like the fall before COVID, and it looks like it's got some pretty good plays or whatever, right? Like. Couple hundred views on all the videos apiece, so we'll definitely check that out for sure. Yeah, that's all I got to say about it, man. Like, tune in next time, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff for more stellar sound.